Welcome to part 13 in the Mega Man ZX Model O Let's Play. We are getting incredibly close to the end. And, hey, would you look at that? I'm actually releasing this video on time. I was really, when I said last time, like, this part may be late, that's because I was really worried about how my practice for this level was going to go. I figured it was going to be a lot more difficult, but I did plenty of practice, and I actually didn't have too much trouble. So I never came down here before because I didn't have any reason to, but down here you can buy an E-Tank. I didn't do this on my initial playthrough on the DS because I knew this was here, but I thought it was just like, I didn't think it actually worked, but yeah, the E-Tank works, so you know, it's worth picking up if you think you're gonna need it. I haven't, just because I've rarely been using sub-tanks at all, and I'd rather be using those. I picked it up because, like I said, I thought I was going to have more trouble with this, so I figured that would be it'd be appropriate to have as many healing items as I could get. And yeah, there it is. Final mission of the game, destroy Model W. And sort of bookending here, remember the building that we fought Jiro in front of? Yeah, well, that's Slitherink's head office. We gotta head in there. And that's going to be our final fortress, which is actually not very difficult at all. Also, last mission we went right from that teleporter. This time we're going left. And this place is swanky. Look at those gigantic chandeliers. A part of me kind of wishes that you could knock them down, but Aile may be stopping this evil organization, but she's not going to be rude about it. And of course, actually most of the level design in this place is elevators. They're not particularly difficult. Stay away from the walls, as you can see. Yeah, I recommend using the ice attack just to get these guys out of the sky. Those things really can't hit you if you just stay standing there. These are going to be your biggest issues, but time your spin slashes correctly and it'll work out. It should work out okay. Or use a different aerial attack if you're allowed to use a different biometal. And what final level of a Mega Man game would this be if it didn't have a boss rush? Now, the interesting thing about the boss rush in this game is that you only fight 2 bosses at a time. You have to fight 4 of them before you get to like a break area, which is also good because you get a hallway with regular enemies between each 4 of the pseudoroids, so you can use that area to easily fill up your sub-tanks if you had to use them during any of the fights. Again, I still did pretty well for myself. And also, the bosses are split up by element. So as you saw, the 2 bosses you fought there were both wind, and then the next 2 you fight are both water. So if you happen to be good at one particular set of bosses, then you'll have an easier or harder time. Although I still took a fair bit of damage there, so I will have to grind a little bit. But yeah, like, you get a hallway that has nothing but the really weak enemies. They don't drop health all the time, but it's decently consistent. It doesn't take too long to grind here for health, even if you need to fill up your sub-tanks. Though if you need to fill up all 4, then obviously that's going to take some time. When I was editing that in, I was just looking through the Premiere files, and I'm like, okay, what's the weirdest font I can use? I happen to be one of the ones. I can't use my favorite old wingdings just because I want the message to be visible. And Overdrive Buster proves itself fairly useful, just to get these guys out of the way. And after that one hallway, we have another elevator section sequence. Combine the words sequence. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It is 10:30 at night. I am tired. But I'm recording this because it's already Thursday. I usually end up recording the commentary for these parts on like Tuesday or Wednesday. It is already Thursday, so I am a little worried about how much time I had to work on this if I wanted to get it out on time. Because quite frankly, I want to get this Let's Play done. It is already August.
Turning off the sun.
And of course, despite my trouble with him, I had a lot less trouble with Flammel this time. I don't know, I guess I just recognized his pattern a little easier. And oh yeah, the elevators have these, those bomb guys that still annoy me because you can barely hit them. And if you do manage to hit them, they explode. It's still a gigantic pain. I still hate this enemy so much. I've complained multiple times in various videos about the past about like the spinning spike enemies. And to be fair, they do bother me, but I hate these bomb guys more. Because at the very least, the spinning wheel guys are easy to kill. They might get a shot in, but you can kill them. That leads us to our final 2 pseudoroids. And yeah, I died to protect us. He didn't do the nuke attack on my test playthroughs, so I kind of forgot like how it worked and how you were supposed to dodge it. It always happens every time I play this. I'm like, I see him launch the nuke. I see him like duck for cover in one direction. I always forget which side of him you're supposed to be on in order to avoid the nuke's explosion. And yeah, believe it or not, we are already almost at the end of this fortress. Most of this part is just cutscenes and the final boss. And speaking of the bomb guys, I hate this enemy too. I hate armored enemies. Because I want to kill them. I don't want to waste time. And I usually kill these guys with the saber, but obviously that's not going to work. So you need to keep some distance. And how did that not hit? You saw that. You saw that. My shots were clearly hitting it when it was open and vulnerable, and it didn't count. This game's bullshit. Fuck every good thing I've said about this game. It's bullshit. It sucks. How could there be so many cyber elves everywhere? Yeah, dialogue and cutscenes. If you need health or sub-tanks, do it here. This is the absolute last place you can grind. These are the last enemies you can work with. Through that door is the final boss. But I'm ready. You must be wondering why we need so many cyber elves to awaken Model W. A child like you could never understand. Their fright. It becomes the power that drives Model W. What? Model W, it's time! The despair and fear of this country are yours! By joining us, the weak are freed from their suffering. The chosen one, Mega Man, will save the people. That is the glory of Project Haven. Mega Man will save the people? How is sacrificing the people of this country going to save them? Precious, misguided little girl. It's time for you to come off of your high horse. Our power is the result of many sacrifices. We are the chosen ones. It is destiny for the last of our kind to rule. Model W is not about destruction. It is about rebirth and evolution. I am the giver of meaning to the lives of people who cannot keep up with the tide of evolution. The only thing you are is afraid. Afraid of your past. Afraid of yourself and this evil power. Your fear is what drives your desire to rule. You think this is evolution? Is this really what you want? You think I'm doing this all out of fear? That's nonsense. The spirits of the people have given me what I need to obtain the power of Model W. Look at you. You're only able to stand before me today thanks to the power of that biometal you stole from the Guardians. Evolution requires sacrifice. The ones who will determine what needs to be sacrificed are the Mega Men. Your fear and despair combined with my joy and victory. They shall be the ultimate gift to Model W. So we have our first fight against Serpent. I recommend keeping your distance just because he's fast and he can't. He really only has a couple attacks, but it can be kind of difficult to tell what he's going to do because sometimes he'll jump towards you. Like most notably, he'll do like an uppercut, but then on his way down, he'll cancel it out with firing off shots. And those shots can basically be impossible to avoid if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Also, he can go into overdrive. Yeah, you can see like he'll do like combo attacks. Can I say it's really annoying? He does not follow the same rules as you. If he goes into overdrive and you hit him, he'll stay in it. It doesn't immediately knock him out like it does with you. I feel like that would have been a good idea. So yeah, he's actually really easy if you just know. Keep your distance, hang on the walls, and don't rush this phase. It still doesn't take very long, even if you're doing it this way. That attack is really not as dangerous as you'd think it is. I don't know how much damage it does if you get hit by it. That teleportation's really annoying, though. What do you find so hilarious about all this, Serpent? It is just as Pandora and Prometheus said. You are the final key. Right now, you are being controlled by a powerful emotion. Emotion so powerful it exceeds even mine. My transformation was cancelled. What's happening to me? The emotion driving you now. That emotion is not bravery. It's not born out of some sense of righteousness. It's hate. Your hate for me and everything I've taken from you. What? That's impossible. I'm the key to awakening the power of Model W. All my fighting, and I did nothing more than fulfill some madman's destiny. Don't give up yet. Your battle is not over. Huh? We did not lend you our power just to let you carry out some kind of petty revenge. Beating up someone just because you don't like them is nothing more than the action of a playground bully. Don't give in to the hate. If you fight the flow, you just end up swimming in place. Even in the darkest tunnel, there is always a light at the end of it for you to follow. That power is not based on hate. Not your power. Your wellspring of bravery lies within you. Look within yourself. You're right. I made a promise to you on that day. I said I will protect the people. All of them. Well then, if you're so sure of yourself, let's find out which Mega Man is destined to rule the world. I'm not interested in ruling the world. Serpent, if you want to be the Mega Man destined to rule the world, then I am the Mega Man that is destined to save it. It's kind of awkward that I immediately go into Model ZX. But no. Even if Model O didn't show up, he is still the one that is going to take out this fight. And this was the fight I was worried about all this time. It's kind of a pain. I tried multiple strategies to find out which one would work best, if I needed to use Overdrive or not, whether I should use the Buster or the Saber. Best strategy I can come up with, charged saber slashes. They still do just so much damn damage. And when he does the fire attack, overdrive, just to get rid of these fire shots really easily. Maybe you can score a pot shot on him, though it doesn't happen entirely often. And maybe your controller won't break in the corner there. It's amazing. I would use... My PS3 controller works fine with my computer. I would use it, but... God damn it, the classic controller is so goddamn comfortable for this. And yeah, we'll see it now. But every time you take off one of Serpent's health bars, he slowly rises up and his weak point changes. In the first phase, it was his head, and now it's his shoulders. And this is the phase where he starts getting that really annoying purple attack. If you get hit by any of those, which you probably will, he fires a lot of them, they're difficult to avoid, it slows you down and limits your jumping. So, and the problem is, his weak spots are in the air, so if you get hit by those, you basically lose your ability to hit him for a while. Unless you're using like Model H's tornado attack, which just rips, I can confirm from my personal playthrough, just rips him apart. Wow, I got him to his, basically his final phase before I had to use a sub-tank. Now the weak spot changes to the gem on the head at the bottom of his thing. And the real problem now is that, you can only damage it while the gem is green. I got really lucky here, it stayed green, but there are a couple attacks where it will change color. He can also siphon health from you, but he really can't take much. My problem is he always just happens to take enough. Yeah, I got lucky. He did the attacks that kept him vulnerable, and I could just tank the damage. This is the end of the line. I will never become like you. Never become like me, eh? Haha! You just don't get it, do you? The Mega Men are all designed with one purpose, to destroy each other and survive to control Model W. It's all just a game. His game. We are all pieces on the board, and the winner becomes the ruler of the world. His game? Ah, yes. His blood flows in your veins, too. The man who made Model W. No. No, that can't be! Aile, everything's falling apart. You've got to get out of here. His blood flows in my veins. My power to fight is the power to control the world. Hey, I don't want to hear that kind of talk. You promised to continue the fight where I left off. Don't tell me you forgot your promise already. You did mean it, right? Jiro! But the blood that flows in me is just blood. Are you gonna let some man you don't even know decide your destiny for you? Destiny is not something that is given to us by others. Destiny comes from the concept of destine, or directing something towards a given end. Be the one doing the directing. Only you can decide your destiny. Only I can control my power. Yes. Forget the past. It means nothing. The power you contain within is the key to creating your future. Serpent said that my power is a result of many sacrifices. But those sacrifices didn't just give me power. The first commander who first made the biometal. You, who protected me for all those years. The Guardians. All of your sacrifices have given me something beyond just power. They gave me the will to protect the world. and I will protect it. Then it looks like you've decided to direct your own destiny. Take this world into the tomorrow you desire. That's my last job request for you, transporter. Aile, I have faith in you and your courage. I believe that the tomorrow you create will be a bright one. Face your destiny and carve out a new future for yourself. That's the struggle that you and every living thing on the planet must cope with. Aile! Model O hasn't said anything ever since I fought Serpent. I don't get it. Maybe I overpowered his influence with my own strength. Slither may be defeated, but that biometal's tale isn't over. I will find the truth. Who is Model O and what's his story? And in most normal playthroughs, that would be the end of Mega Man ZX. Overall, I swear this game gets better every time I play it. First time I played the game, I liked it, I guess, but I had issues with it. Had a lot of trouble. My first playthrough was with Vent, and I made it to at least the second tier of pseudoroids, because I remember getting frustrated on Flamel's stage and just giving up. And then a long time later, I came back. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this game another shot. I started it over with Aile, and I had a lot more fun that time. And then I came up with the idea to do this Let's Play. I still waited a little bit before I actually did it, just because I was doing other things, and I didn't want to burn myself out on this game. And I had even more fun with it this time. I'm understanding the game more and more. And that's really what integrates Mega Man games are all about. They can be a bit of a pain the first time. Mega Man Zero was the best example of that, but once you get good at them, they start to get really fun. I had a good time doing this Let's Play, even with the specific challenge I put on myself. I was figuring it was going to cause a lot more trouble to myself. Like, it's the best way to say it. I wonder why those guys are all credited. All those characters. But yeah, I was expecting this to be a little more of a challenge run that would be difficult, but no, I actually had a decently comfortable time. And as Aile mentioned in the dialogue that I put in, mystery isn't over yet. We still know nothing about Model O, and okay, we won't, but he still needs to be addressed. We still need to get closure. We beat Serpent, we beat Slither, we've seen the credits, but there is still one more thing that needs to be done. So, I'll see you next week in the finale to Mega Man ZX.